my clock says 3:01. We can go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina, and I'm a fitness specialist and instructor down in the fitness center. I'm so glad that you're joining me for today's wellness timeout. And again, I mentioned we're going to use the chair, but we're also going to use the floor. Everybody's got a chair. Hopefully everybody's got a floor. Other than that, no equipment's necessary. You don't even have to have shoes on today. I happen to be wearing shoes because I just recently taught, but you don't have to have shoes on. Today's wellness timeout is going to focus on back, glutes, and core strength, and a little bit of circulation. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to start just standing right here with your feet approximately hip distance apart. I think my feet disappear off the screen, so let me back off a little bit. And I'm just going to stand slightly to the side here. And we're going to start with just a nice little chest stretch. So just clasp your hands in back, lift open your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then you're going to soften your knees a little bit. So what this does is it loads your quads, hams, glutes, and takes pressure off of your knee joints. Hi, everybody. I see you guys logging on. Welcome. You're going to need a chair today, and you're also going to need some floor space. I've got my mat down here. I might be taking you a little bit out of your comfort zone because I'm going to bring you all the way down to the floor to do a few moves down there. Good. So right now, we're doing a chest stretch by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Good. We're just going to hold a few more moments. You're inhaling through your nose, and you're exhaling through your mouth. And a good rule of thumb, anytime you're integrating deep breaths, is to try and exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. Let's try that. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then X breath for 7. Ready? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now I'm going to turn face front. Go ahead and let go of your hands. And then you're just going to do a little shoulder roll. Forward and back. Gradually making the moves bigger and bigger, filling up as much space as you can in your room. You can see eventually just fully extend your arms forward and back. And I've got my feet facing forward. My feet are about hip distance apart. And again, with that soft knee. Alternating the direction of our shoulder rolls and our arm circles. Creating some circulation in your shoulder joints. Now imagine you're doing a little backstroke. So we're going to do one arm at a time. And you've got a tiny little twist through the torso, through your trunk. Feeling a nice stretch there, lower back. And then reverse direction. One more time. Great. And then shrug, squeezing your shoulders all the way up towards your ear on the in-breath. And then on the ex-breath, you're just going to do a hard and forceful exhale and release your shoulders. Let's do that again. Inhale, shrug the shoulders, and ex-breath. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, squeeze, 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 contract, and ex-breath. Perfect. Give yourself a little shakedown, and here's where we're going to transition to the chair. Our focus today, again, as I mentioned, is on our lower back and our glutes, and we're going to use the chair as a prop here. You're just going to take your feet about hip distance apart. I know my feet disappear on the screen, but you can imagine feet are about hip distance, facing your chair. Abdominals are engaged, and then you're just going to hinge at your hips with a nice flat back and place your hands right here on the chair. You could always, I could even use my coffee table if I wanted to, or even the sofa. Now you're gonna extend your left leg back behind you, squeezing this glute cheek, and you are very gently contracting that lower back muscle. And we're just gonna do some leg lifts. So you're gonna tap your toe and lift. Inhale on the tap, exhale on the lift. We'll do about 6 or 8 on each side, keeping those abdominals engaged. So pull your belly in tightly towards your spine. And one more. And then release and switch. You should be feeling some light muscle stimulation there in the back, in your lower back, and in your glutes. Same thing over here, little toe taps. 2 more of these. And last one. Nice. Now soften your knees a little bit, bring your hands to your quads and round all the way up. Good. Now I might be taking you a little bit out of your comfort zone, as I mentioned, by bringing you all the way down to the floor. So find a nice comfortable space on your mat. You're gonna lie down, gently taking your fingertips behind your hamstrings and rolling yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Awesome. You're gonna extend one leg, draw your opposite knee into your chest, and you're gonna feel a nice little hip stretch. And you can kind of play with that knee hug. You can draw circles, alternating the direction. Feeling that stretch there through your hip, your lower back. One more circle in each direction. Awesome. Now gently release that leg. Take a nice deep in breath. And on the X breath, draw your opposite knee into your chest. Now I've laced my fingers, laced my hands just under my knee joint. This gives me a nice, good hug. And then go ahead and draw those circles, alternating the direction. We've actually done this stretch before in a seated position. So if it was not appropriate or comfortable for you to get all the way on the floor, you could certainly do this from your office chair or even from your sofa. One more time in each direction. Awesome. Now you're going to draw both knees into your chest. And again, taking your hands just underneath your knee joint on your shins. And then you're going to give yourself a little back massage. So all we're doing is rocking from side to side. Just feeling some nice myofascial release there in your lower back. And the more you draw your knees into your chest, the more intense that little back massage will be. It also gives you a great hip stretch as well. All right, how about a little spinal rotation? So press your legs together, squeezing those inner thighs, igniting those adductors. Extend your arms out to the side and take that nice, super deep in-breath through your nose. And then on your X breath through your mouth, you're gonna let your knees gently relax to the side. Now you're gonna feel this back shoulder peeling off the floor a little bit, and that's okay. Now to get a next stretch, you're gonna look away from the camera toward your back hand, and you can feel a nice light stretch there through your neck. Now I've got a pretty tight fetal position here, but if you wanted to, you could lower your knees a little bit. So there's lots of options here, moves and stretches that are perfect for anyone at every level and any condition, because our conditions change from day to day. And it's really important to honor your body on a daily basis. So now we're going to bring the knees up one at a time. One at a time. This is more gentle on your back. And then let that bottom knee meet. And once again, squeeze your inner thighs. Extend your arms. Deep in breath. And on the X breath, you're going to drop your knees very gently to the opposite direction. And I just felt my back go crack, crack, crack. This is my tighter side, so I need to lower my knees slightly. And again, that's okay. I'm honoring my body and my physical limitations. There is no right or wrong here. There's no way to get this wrong. Stretches should feel really good to your body, should feel refreshing, and it shouldn't feel painful. This should not feel painful. It should just feel like a nice release to your lower back and your glute and your hip, and a little bit in your neck. All right, so you're gonna bring that knee right back to center. Let your other knee meet it, and then feet to the floor, and you're gonna go ahead and flip over onto your belly. Any way that's most comfortable for you to do that. My coffee table's kind of in the way, so I'm gonna be kind of creative about how I turn over onto cat-cow position is where I'm bringing you guys. So you're gonna be right here. Hands are right underneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips. And we're gonna do cat-cow. If you've ever done yoga or Pilates or yoga, this is going to be familiar to you. And you're gonna take an in-breath and arch your back. So you're lifting your forehead toward the ceiling and you're lifting your tailbone simultaneously. And then on the breath, you're gonna round your back, relax your chin towards your chest, and feel that light stretch through the lower back. Can we do that again? In breath here. Go ahead and continue. This is called cat-cow. On the breath, round and tuck your chin. I'm gonna do about 5 or 6 of these. Remember, you're not rushing. You're taking this kind of slow-mo, savoring the stretches, and letting your body's natural relaxation response kind of kick in. Any type of deep breathing is going to help your body do that. I think we've got maybe 1 or 2 more. A healthy spine moves in all directions every day. And this is one of those directions. All right. Okay, so you're going to tuck your toes under and bring yourself, walk your feet in and bring yourself back to that standing position. Yay, you did all that floor work. That was awesome. Now I'm going to kick my mat out of the way and grab my chair again, and we're going to finish with a seated spinal twist. So the best way to set up for this stretch is to kind of scoot your hips toward the front end, the front end of your seat. Okay, so if you're way back here, it's not going to be quite as effective. You want to scoot your booty toward the front and then cross your legs at your knees. All right, take your opposite hand on the outside of your knee, reach, inhale, and on the breath, do that backstroke and look behind you. You can prop this hand on the back part of your chair. Now stay lifted through your spine. Try not to crunch up. Look behind you. Holding that stretch for a moment. Just breathing naturally through the stretch. Give it 1 more natural breath. And then unwind yourself right back to the center. Gently release that leg from cross position and then crisscross the other direction. So it's a nice tight inner thigh squeeze. My bottom foot, I know it disappears off the camera, but my bottom foot is nice and flat on the floor. Bring your opposite hand to the outside of your knee. Reach up, do that backstroke on the in-breath, and on the breath, look behind you and take a hold of the back of your chair. Twist. You're using this hand against your outer knee as a little bit of leverage. It's helping you out. And then look behind you, giving yourself a nice little neck stretch. And we get to hold this position for about 2 or 3 natural breaths. I can hear the wind outside. It's really windy today. All right, you're gonna unwind to center, and now we're gonna do a nice little inner thigh stretch. So again, scoot your booty toward the edge of the chair, widen your legs, my knees are bent, and toes and knees are pointing outward. Keeping your spine nice and long, take an in-breath here, and on the breath, you're gonna bring it forward and prop your elbow to your inner inner knee. And now notice my back is so nice and flat. Try not to crunch up. Keep it nice and flat. And then just gently press outward with your elbows on your inner thighs. So we get that stretch through the hips, through your inner thigh. Spine is nice and long. And of course, those abs are nice and tight, right? We need to hold this stretch for a couple, 2-3 breaths naturally. Now we're going to tuck your chin and round all the way to a seated position. Inch your feet into the center and give yourself a couple little final shoulder rolls back and then front. And let's finish with a big reach to the ceiling, lifting as tall as you can. And exhale. Awesome job, guys. I just want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed those stretches. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat, and I'll make sure I check the chats before I log out of this meeting. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.